a rule that you cannot get a law degree unless you have learned Sanskrit. Because in Sanskrit there is Mimamsa school of logic, which is even better than the Western logic, legal logic. But how people don't know. So you must make Sanskrit compulsory. College, you should say, Sanskrit is compulsory. School, you need not make Sanskrit compulsory, but optional. Those who want to learn Sanskrit and not some other language, they can. Over the years, we must plan now, because of the computerization that is taking place and the fact that both Devanagari script and Sanskrit language are computer friendly. Therefore, over the years, we must see that everyone who is educated learns, knows Sanskrit. So this is also your patriotic duty. Patriotism is not that I'll pick up the gun and fight for the country or go and shoot some Pakistanis. No. That's not enough. It is the development of the human being. So I would say first requirement of patriotism is to place your country's interests above your interests, your state's interests, your family interests. Where there is a clash, national interests shall prevail. Second, you will regard all the Indians in India to acknowledge that their ancestry is Indian. You regard them as your brothers and sisters, irrespective of their caste or their region or their language. And third is that you will strive to communicate with other Indians over a period of time. English is not to be boycotted. English is an international language, thanks to the Americans, who have now made it into an international language. English is learned, but within our own academic discourse, increasingly we will use Sanskrit, interstate. So this is another resolve we should have. Another patriotic duty is to learn the correct history of India. I have been told by college students, if India was so wonderful in those days, why did we lose to all these foreigners? We were beaten by anybody who came from abroad. Well, we may have been beaten, but we never gave up. I did myself realize the real essence of it, of how we fought. Till a Saudi Arabian student of mine at Harvard came to me to ask a question after class. He wanted to know why India is still over 80% Hindu. So I said, what do you mean? He said, I mean this, that in my university in Riyadh, there is a research going on that wherever Islam went, it was able to convert the entire population of that country after conquering it into 100% Muslim. I said the example, I said we went to Iran. Iran was Zoroastrian. We captured it and converted everybody to Islam. We went to Mesopotamia, Babylon, which is now known as Iraq, and in 17 years we converted everybody to 100% Muslim. We went and conquered Egypt, and in 21 years we converted everybody to Islam. And he also said the Christians also did the same thing. They went to Europe in 50 years. They converted the whole of Europe into 100% Christian. But in India, 800 years, city dwellings or the population centers, but in open Maidan, in front of each other. So, Kurukshetra is an open Maidan. When Rama had to be fought, Ravan came out of his fort. He didn't stay in his fort and tell Rama, come in, you can. But instead he went out into the Maidan and fought him. And third is that if after the battle you lose and you say, I am sorry, please forgive me, then everything is returned to you and you are given a good send-off. And that's what happened with Gauri. Each time we go to Prithviraj Chauhan, I made mistake, I will not come again. And Prithviraj Chauhan also kept on forgive me and sending him back. Till he realized that these Indians will not fight in the night. They will not fight in the population centers. So he attacked at 3 a.m. in the morning and he attacked in the cities. And that's how Gauri was able to establish himself. So this is because of this, we didn't realize that the foreigner doesn't believe in our rules. These rules are for us only. When we fight amongst ourselves, but not for the foreigner. Today also we don't realize how to fight the foreigner. Today the foreigner is not doing physical attack, he is doing mental attack. People say, oh see, you all the time criticizing this poor Sonia Gandhi. She has come here, she is wearing sari, she is putting bindi, she is trying to become a bahu, a daughter-in-law, and you are not allowing her. I said, listen, I have learned from Ramayana that when Ravan came to pick up Sita, he didn't come like Ravan. He came as a sannyasi wearing Bhagwan. So I am not going to be fooled by all this. So I am therefore saying that we must realize now how we are being attacked. We are being attacked by ideas. These ideas are making us into babus, clerks. Our Indians today, they don't want to take risk on anything. They are afraid of failure. When I was teaching at Harvard, I had students from large number of countries. And at the end of the class, he used to say, okay, now, after graduation, because you are Harvard, you will get a good job. But what kind of career do you want? Do you want to go into some new venture, risky venture, and that venture may make you a billionaire like Microsoft's man, what is Bill Gates? Or you may fall flat on the face, become a failure, and be on the street. Do you want that kind of a life? Or a career? Or you want to join a job? Every year your salary will increase, provident fund will be deposited. At the age of 60, you will get a big provident fund. You will get your provident fund back, and you build a house and watch television for the rest of your life. But all the Indian students told me in the class that we want a second job. So I said, why? That is guaranteed poverty, that job. Why do you want that? They said, maybe, but it is guaranteed. That is why we want that job. Guaranteed poverty is also okay, as long as it's guaranteed. Risk is something Indians are afraid of. Don't want to take risk. That attitude has to go. You must now, in your patriotic duty, take risk. Try new things. Set up your own company. Go for new inventions. That spirit has to come, and it can only come if you admire, if you know, and is left. Yeah, that's the answer. Okay. Because I have another session also in the afternoon where I will deal with the question of how India can become a developed country and how India can protect itself against terrorism. But today I will give you the general principles of patriotism. What a patriotic people must be, what should we know, what should we say, what do you mean by patriotism? That is what I wanted to devote myself to. What time will I get on to? Alright, after 5 minutes. I'll finish up in 5 minutes. Alright, now, finally, there are two things left for me to deal with. I might deal very briefly now and then later on the concluding session. One is that how do you achieve true happiness? Because if you are going to be patriotic and going to serve the country and going to make sacrifice, you must also be internally contented person. We know that the Western system is not producing happiness. Because they are coming here. Go to Sri Sri Ravi Shankar's ashram one day and you will see 40% of the people there are rich Americans and Europeans. Ask them, why have you come? Because we want to know how to be happy. We know how to make money, but we don't know how to be happy. So how Ravi Shankar can tell you that? That is where we learn from them that there is a method by becoming a happy person, even when you are not succeeding. And even if you are succeeding, you will not necessarily be happy. So that is something that again goes back to our culture. How we taught ourselves to remain happy even in the face of adversity. What is the outlook we should have by which we shall always be happy and smiling? The second thing is that we need is to know we are not only enough to be patriotic. Now you are, wherever you are, you must become a leader. Which means you must be able to influence other people to think like you. And what are those elements of leadership? So now you are clear the word patriotic means you place your national interest above your personal interest, family interest, state interest, linguistic interest, all other interests. Two, you regard all Indians who accept that their ancestry is rooted in this country. You accept them as your brothers and sisters. They are all one people, there is no difference. You may have some variations of language and so on. I may eat idli, somebody may eat aloo paratha. But now idli has also gone to North India. Even in Kashmir you get idli. You may not recognize it as idli, but they call it idli. So, this is the second thing. The third thing is that you will be patriotic to make a resolution that you will promote Sanskrit, either by learning it yourself or making someone else learn it. Or creating conditions where your school to which you want to go teaches Sanskrit. Fourth is patriotism is you will strive to learn the true history of India. If you are sitting on exam, please write all the rubbish that you have been taught. And don't put all these ideas I am giving you, you will fail. That is not, they will keep that. But over the period when you propagate the correct history. And then finally you will be bringing about economic change in the country in such a way that you become a happy person. Everybody becomes happy. Not only prosperous, but happy. Not only prosperous and happy, but not corrupt. Why you become corrupt, that also I need to tell you. Why corruption is growing in India, in a country where 1,000 years ago people never even heard of corruption. And all foreign visitors who came to India said that the one important thing that we have noticed about India, so honest these people are, that even when they go outside in the evening from their house, they don't lock their house. Or if you go and leave something there by mistake, they will chase you and return it back to you. That is the character of the Indian once upon a time. Hospitable. Parsis came, we gave them a place to stay. The Jews came, we gave them a place to stay. We never persecuted any religion. Even when we had a quarrel with Buddhism, we did not burn any of their books. Like the Christians did in Goa, burned all the Hindu books. The Muslims did all over India, demolished temples. None of that we ever did. Such a culture, nothing. So, these are the elements you have to learn and get pride from it, then propagate it. And on that basis, you build your character as a patriotic people. Now, if there are any questions, we have to answer them.
Answer session now, and probably for another 25 minutes. I think we have your questions, but I think there is a mic also. We can start with the mic and then we will manage it.
And one joke I have. See, once in America, a group, mostly of Indians, will be very strong. So all of a sudden they see a little girl being attacked by a dog. So one of them, takes the number and gets the sign. So the next day paper reads like a very Indian they say child. So that guy goes and class and my friends are Indians but I am Pakistan. So the connection says that an innocent dog killed by a Pakistan. The perspective they are picturizing. Like for example, when Modi came 115 seats, they picturized that he lost 2.
By media, you mean all channels,
all channels must be given some kind of rating.
All newspapers?
Yeah, all everything.
Well, there is a system you can write to the press council saying that they have given us hope and they have printed this lie and they should be censured for it. If it's a defamatory lie, they can go to court and file a defamation suit.
No, I'm thinking in terms of perspective.
Personal? Perspective.
Yeah.
No, see, the thing is that media is now under heavy pressure because there's so much competition. You know, how many newspapers come out of Hyderabad? English and Hindi and Telugu put together? News. So therefore, I think you see, we should not think in terms in a democracy of controlling the media to do the right thing. We should learn to prosecute them, penalize them, punish them when they do wrong. Not in by controls and censorship to see that they do not utter lies. That is not possible to do. You don't have the machinery for it. So I think the best thing is what nowadays you PGs are doing. You are hammering all these pagalikas and burqa, no? Thank you. You not stand. After that, you stop talking about Tawliya, to be honest. So that is the way, this social pressure rather than governmental pressure. Okay?
If patriotism is really that influence, how come all these unpatriotic elements win elections? Elections after elections, and patriotic people are unable to, put their people as representatives.
Why? Because she tried to tamper with democracy. So, it is not correct to say that unpatriotic people or undemocratic people win elections all the time. If the issue is made, then they will. Why is Congress today, Congress government executing Kasab, not doing Kasab, but this Afzal Guru also? Because they see this anger of the patriotic people and they don't want to be on the wrong side. One day Mulayam Singh told me, he's a very good friend of mine, he told me, I asked him, why are you doing so much? Don't go to such extreme to get your vote bank secured. He said, as a Yadav, I cannot win unless the Muslims vote for me. But the day the Hindu becomes a vote bank, I will put the tika and say Jai Shri Ram. So the answer to correct all these things that unfettered people get elected and so on is to create a climate in the country. Build it up, you see, this patriotic fever. India is under siege, India has been under attack. These people are betraying us. And you will find all these people will fall in line. Today even CPM is saying that the hanging of Abdul Guru was correct. You know the atmosphere in the country. So I think again I am saying that the more important thing is the grassroots movement for patriotism. Then no patriotic person will have a chance. Why don't we stop it? I thought the Supreme Court has already given that order. Did they not? Yeah, they have. It's to be implemented, I think, next year. And anyway, we'll follow it up. But high subsidy is totally wrong because even in Muslim countries, they don't give high subsidy.
Saying once in a lifetime.
No subsidy under any circumstance. So then there is no pilgrimage. Nobody gives subsidy to go to Ayyappa's. I think people know themselves who is giving subsidy to go to Kumbh Mela. 1 crore people are turned up there. Correct. Well, I don't know what is in his mind, but he has certainly destroyed Anna movement.
Continue with those questions after the tea break. It's now, according to my watch, 11:15. We'll reassemble at 11:25. 11:25, 10 minutes tea break. We'll come and we'll continue with some of these questions. Thank you.
Here the question, because there are many questions which are of similar nature, and I am clubbing these questions and Dr. Swami will take up the questions from